Under $50 is where the tackle wall gets dangerous. Most of what sits in that bargain bin is genuinely junk, heavy poles with guides that pop off on the third trip. But hidden in there are a handful of rods so good they embarrass sticks costing 3 times as much. So I ranked the 7 best fishing rods under $50 by what the science actually says. And here's what makes this list different. Every rod under $50 made compromises to hit that price. The trick is knowing which ones compromised in the right places, and which ones cut the corners that actually matter. Get that right, and a $40 rod will outfish a beginner holding a $200 one all day long. So we count down from number 7, a deadly little specialist, to number 1, the best rod under $50 in fishing, period. Stick around, because understanding where these rods save their money tells you exactly which cheap rod to trust and which to leave on the shelf. If you fish, subscribe, because we find you the value the big brands hope you miss. One quick thing before number 7. A cheap rod is only half the battle. Knowing where the fish are and how to work that rod is the whole system. Inside the Angler's Vault, first link in the description, QR code in the corner of the whole video. Tap it or scan it whenever you want. Now, let's get into it. First, the science of how a rod even gets under $50. 3 main compromises. The blank, where cheaper fiberglass or composite replaces some of the pure graphite. The guides, where stainless steel or aluminum oxide replaces premium ceramic. And the assembly, fewer guides and simpler wraps. Every cheap rod cuts here. The good ones just cut in the smart places. Let's talk guides for a second, because it is the compromise that matters most. Cheap rods use stainless steel or aluminum oxide rings instead of premium ceramic. For mono and fluoro line, those are totally fine and last for years. The one catch is braid, which over time can wear a groove in the softest budget guides. Fish mono on the cheapest rods, and it is a non-issue. Another cost saver on cheap rods is the 2-piece design, which is easier and cheaper to make and ship. Purists say a 1-piece rod is a hair more sensitive because there is no joint interrupting the blank. In reality, on a modern 2-piece with a good ferrule, that difference is tiny. Do not pay extra chasing 1-piece on a budget rod. 2-piece is perfectly fine. And here is the key insight that runs through this whole list. For a cheap rod, a little less sensitivity is fine, but poor durability is not. A budget rod's real job is to survive, to take abuse and keep catching fish. So the smartest sub-50 rods spend their money on toughness and a decent blank, and save it on fancy cosmetics you will never miss. And one thing to check even on a cheap rod is the action, where it bends. A fast action bends at the tip for quick hook sets and worms. A moderate action bends deeper, which is what you want for treble hook lures like crankbaits. Even at $40, picking the right action for how you fish matters more than the brand on the blank. Number 7, the Shakespeare Micro. For around $20, this is the cheapest working ultralight rod you can buy, and it earns its spot by being honest about what it is. It is a light, sensitive little stick built for panfish and trout. It will not fight a giant, but for the bluegill and stock trout most people actually catch, it is all the rod you need. The science of how it gets so cheap is pure honesty. It uses a fiberglass composite blank and simple stainless steel guides, the 2 biggest cost savers there are. That makes it a bit heavier than a premium ultralight, but in its narrow lane, casting tiny lures for small fish, that barely matters. It is the price of a few coffees, and it genuinely catches fish. Number 6, the PLUSINNO Telescopic. Around $30, and it earns its place by solving a problem no expensive rod bothers with: portability. This is a real carbon telescopic that collapses down to fit in a backpack or a car trunk. And testers were shocked, because unlike most telescopics, it is genuinely sensitive, letting you feel every little tap. The science here is that a telescopic design is not a gimmick. Where it saves money is the multiple collapsing sections, which do add small joints. But this one uses a genuine carbon blank, so it casts and feels far better than the cheap telescopic reputation suggests. For the angler who would otherwise leave the rod at home, the one you actually bring beats the one in the closet. Number 5. The Berkley Cherrywood HD. Around $25, and this one is a genuine shock because it delivers sensitivity that has no business existing at this price. Anglers reach for it specifically for feeling light crappie jigs, where its surprisingly sensitive tip outperforms ultralight rods costing far more. Astonishing feel for the price of a large pizza. The science of why it feels so good is that Berkley spent its limited budget in the right place, the blank, using a real graphite frame instead of the cheapest composite. It saved money on cosmetics and simple hardware instead. That is the whole lesson of this list. A cheap rod that spins on the blank and saves on the shine will always outfeel one that does the opposite. Number 4. The Okuma Celilo. Around $35, and it is the do-everything workhorse that punches almost absurdly above its price. It sells for a ridiculously low number, and yet is a genuinely decent rod, not just for the money, but in general. Anglers have landed salmon, halibut, and big perch on this cheap stick. That tells you everything. What makes the Celilo special is its range and its corrosion resistance. It uses a graphite composite blank with aluminum oxide guide inserts that shrug off salt water, so you can fish it fresh or salt without worry. And it comes in a huge lineup of lengths and powers, so there is a Celilo for nearly any fishing you do. Cheap, versatile, and tough. Quick thing before the top 3. The best cheap rods money can buy. If this is already saving you from a bad purchase, hit the like button so it reaches the next angler about to grab junk off the shelf. And point your camera at the QR code or tap the first link below. The Angler's Vault is the gear and knowledge worth your money. One payment, yours for life. Number 3. The KastKing Perigee II. Around $40, and it takes the sensitivity crown of this entire list. Where the tougher rods trade feel for durability, the Perigee goes the other way, with a proper carbon blank and quality Fuji guides that transmit a bite crisply. Many even come with interchangeable tips, giving you 2 rod powers in one. And this is the perfect rod to bust the biggest myth in fishing. The Perigee is built on a 24-ton carbon blank, and people wrongly sneer at that number. 24-ton is not junk. It is the tough, sensible standard. Light and sensitive enough for real fishing while staying durable. This $40 rod proves a good 24-ton blank beats a badly built high modulus one every time. The one honest trade-off is durability. To get that sensitivity and lightweight so cheaply, the Perigee gives up some of the bomb-proof toughness of a rod like the Ugly Stik. It is not fragile, but it is a precision instrument, not a tank. Treat it with a little care, and it rewards you with the best feel you can buy for $40. Number 2. The Berkley Lightning Rod. Around $45, and it is the best all-around caster under $50. The rod testers praise for precise, accurate casts right where you aim. It has been a quiet staple for years because it nails the fundamentals: a sensitive blank, a balanced feel, and reliable guides, with no glaring weakness anywhere. The science of why it lands so high is balance. The Lightning has no weak link, so its weight sits right, and it feels lighter and more accurate than the number on the scale. It is the everyman rod that ends the excuse, because if you can drop a lure exactly where you want it with a $45 rod, you never needed the expensive one to do it. And number 1, the best rod under $50 in all of fishing, the Ugly Stik GX2. Around $45, and it wins for the exact reason a cheap rod should. It simply never lets you down. It is nearly indestructible, catches everything from panfish to salmon. and it is backed by a 10-year warranty almost no rod at any price can match. Here is the science of why it takes the crown. Its Ugly Stik blank blends graphite and fiberglass, so it flexes deeply without snapping, where a pure graphite rod would break. Its one-piece stainless guides cannot pop out, and its clear tip adds sensitivity back. It is engineered to survive everything, which is exactly what you want from the one cheap rod you truly rely on. This is why the GX2 is the rod every guide keeps as a loaner, and every parent buys for a kid. It shrugs off car doors, rocky banks, and careless friends. And it keeps catching fish for a decade. A little heavier and a hair less sensitive than the Perigee, yes. But for a cheap rod you can beat on forever. Nothing on earth beats it. That is a worthy number one. And do not sleep on that 10-year warranty, because on a cheap rod, it is huge value. A $45 rod you can replace for free for a decade can genuinely outlast a $200 rod you are on your own with. When a company backs a budget rod that hard, it is telling you it built the thing to last. Factor the warranty into the price. Now, one serious warning, because the floor has a bottom. Below about $20, you fall off a cliff into true junk. The no-name poles with heavy blanks, rough guides that shred your line, and hardware that falls apart in a season. The lesson of this list is not that cheapest wins, it is that smart cheap wins, and there is a floor you should never go below. And a quick word on combos, the rod and reel sold together. A good budget combo, like an Ugly Stik GX2 combo, is genuine value and guaranteed to balance. But beware the bargain bin combo with a no-name reel, because a bad reel ruins a decent rod. Buy a proven combo, or pair one of these rods with a $50 reel that actually works. So how do you spot the junk on the shelf in 10 seconds? Give the rod a gentle flex and watch how it loads. A good one bends smoothly, a bad one has a dead, clubby feel. Check that the guides are wrapped straight and tight, not glopped with glue. And feel the weight. A shockingly heavy, cheap rod is heavy for a reason. Trust your hands. So here's how to actually shop the cheap rack. First, match the rod to your fish. For panfish and trout, the Micro or the Cherrywood. For travel, the PLUSINNO. For one tough, do-it-all, the GX2. For the best feel, the Perigee. There is a right rod under $50 for every angler. And now you know exactly which is which. And balance it with the right reel, because a rod is only half a setup. Pair a light budget rod with a small 2500 size reel, and a tougher rod with a 3000, so the whole outfit feels balanced in your hand. A cheap rod balanced with a matching reel outfishes an expensive rod thrown off by the wrong one. And know when to spend more, because these rods do have a ceiling. If you fish nearly every day, or you fish demanding finesse in clear water, where you need to feel the faintest tick, stepping up to a $100 rod is a real upgrade. But for the angler who fishes a few times a month, one of these will catch every fish you hook and leave money in your pocket. So there it is, the 7 best rods under $50, ranked by what the science actually says. From the $20 Micro to the shockingly good Cherrywood, and crowned by the unkillable $45 Ugly Stik GX2. Spend on the blank, demand durability. Match the rod to your fish, and you will outfish anglers holding rods 4 times the price. That is what the Angler's Vault is about. It is the first link below. The QR code is in the corner. Pay once, and it is yours. Now tell me in the comments, what is the best cheap rod you ever owned? The one that punched above its price. And if this saved you a bad buy, subscribe, because we find you the value the big brands hope you miss. We will see you on the water. And if you want to see how these cheap rods stack up against the pricier ones, all the way to premium, watch this next. 10 rods ranked by science, from $30 to $400.